Yo, what up, my average people, and welcome to The Average Investor. I'm Jason, and this is episode 2 of The Average Investor, also known as Take 77. 77 attempts to make this episode work. So episode 2, the one with opening credits and credibility. And before I jump into this episode's content, I just want to give a shout out to those who stopped by, visited the YouTube channel, said hi, gave me some encouragement, definitely gave me some feedback. For those of you who made it through episode 1, all 10 minutes, and gave me some feedback, I'm super grateful for that. Definitely appreciative. Here's what I know about feedback. If feedback makes me better, and if I get better, these get better. And hopefully as these get better, it can help you, the average person, become an average investor, build above average wealth. So definitely appreciate it. If you have any ideas, suggestions, comments, if you want me to talk about or cover anything that you're either confused on or interested in, definitely drop a comment. Let me know. Would love to turn those into episode ideas. So episode 2, let's get into it. Episode 2, the one with opening credits and credibility. What do I mean by that? So briefly, in 2020, the world experienced a global pandemic, and a lot of us experienced some idle time on our hands. In fact, the world shut down. It told us we had to shut down, socially distanced, isolated. And so that doesn't do well with me, right? Like I don't do well with idle hands. Not that I need to find productivity with my hands. Actually, I need to find productivity with my mind. And so an idle mind doesn't work well with me. And so for me, having spent the last decade in leadership development and people investment, I'm just a learner. I'm a natural learner. I seek learning. And so I know that leaders are learners, right? Leaders are learners and learners are readers. And so for people with our mindsets, uh, constantly have to be engaged and equipped. And so for me, how did that translate? Well, over the last several years, I've become super invested in investing. I've become super interested in investing in business management. How does business work? Wealth management, financial planning. I've just become super interested in that to the point where I went back and got an MBA degree because I just wanted to learn how business works theoretically, right? Academically, and now practically. So over the last several years, I've become super enthralled with investing, investment management. I think with the advent of COVID and idle time, a lot of us started binging content, right? Whether it's TikTok or Reels or even Netflix. I'm not one of those guys. Like my binging turned into reading, learning, and watching CNBC. I started watching shows like Squawk on the Street, Halftime Report, Closing Bell, Jim Cramer's Mad Money. I started watching these investment managers, these money managers talk about their investment theses, their investment approach. I started listening to their podcasts. I even started buying their books. So I built a Mount Rushmore, if you will, of investment mentors. So people like Jenny Harrington, who really looks at dividend investing, Joe Liebenthal. Man, this guy is prudent. He's calculated. He's measured. He's humble in his investment. He's careful. Just has a very prudent investment approach. Joshua Brown, man, this guy approaches it no nonsense, respectfully direct, playfully blunt. Man, he's awesome. He's awesome. Josh, if you're listening out there, it even makes it to your ears. I think you're great. You've taught me a lot. Incredible. I love it. I listened to his podcast called The Compounded Friends with Michael Batnick and him, and they have a lot of powerful minds on their podcast. So it's incredible. And then lastly, and I'm about to finish this one, Jim Cramer's How to Make Money in Any Market. Plain spoken, practical for the average person. He has really has an educator's heart. So as you can see, building up my Mount Rushmore of investment managers and mentors, and that's not all of them. I listen to people like Brent Talkington and Brian Belsky and Tom Lee, just a lot of people who have a lot of market knowledge, and they speak plainly, practically, and they make investing make sense. And that's what I'm here to help with. The average investor is to make investing make sense. So gratitude to them, opening credits. Now, maybe some credibility. I think that knowledge without application means nothing. Knowledge without application, it translates to nothing. It's what we do with what we know, right? And so, how does that relate to investing? Well, for me, to give some credibility, it was in that same 2020 time frame that I really got interested in investing. Started watching the shows and watching some names appear across the screen, tickers, stock symbols. And at the time, there was the meme stock era. The meme stock era. What was that? At the time, hedge fund managers were shorting a stock called GameStop. What does that mean? So a lot of hedge fund managers anticipated that GameStop would fail, or they would miss earnings reports, or they would not perform the way that they anticipated it performing. And so they would short it, meaning they were putting money on the fact that this stock would fall short or fail to perform the way it should have. Well, on the other side of the spectrum, average person, the average investor, really specifically people on Reddit and on Wall Street Bets pages, were not wanting these hedge fund managers to be successful. And so they started hyping it up. It got so hyped up that a $20 stock reached an average price of $480. So hearing what was going on, I stepped into the batter's box and took a swing and did well. I did really well. I got that dopamine hit, I got that dopamine rush, and I got out, right? What I learned is I wasn't investing, I was trading. This was some real time practical experience for me. I got in, I got out, but I learned that that wasn't investing. That was actually trading. And trading is legitimate. Trading is legitimate if you know what you're doing and know how to do it, but it's also risky. But trading isn't investing, and investing isn't trading. So that's what investing isn't. Investing isn't trading. Trading isn't investing. Trading is trading. It's putting your money on a stock you think that will do really well or do really poorly and getting a return off that. What is investing? What is investing? Investing is finding a great company with great management that makes great decisions, has great fundamentals, and returns that capital appreciation to their shareholders. I'm going to say that again. Investing is finding great companies with great management who make great decisions based on great fundamentals of the company and return that capital appreciation, that return to their shareholders. So investing isn't trading. Investing is finding a great company with great decisions, great management, great fundamentals that return that appreciation back to their shareholders. And then investing is for anyone. Investing is for anyone. I think that's the great misconception or perhaps deception of Wall Street. Investing is for anyone. It's not just for the one percenters. It's not just for the upper echelon of society. Investing is for anyone at any time with any amount of money in any company. It's for you. It's for the average person who wants to become an average investor to build above average wealth. So that's episode 2. Opening credits, give credit to where credit is due to my Mount Rushmore of investment mentors, and then giving some credibility. I've done the trading, but what I found is investing is where it's at. Investing isn't short-term panic buying or panic selling. Investing is long-term decisions, long-term consistency, and great companies with great management who make great decisions and return to their shareholders. They return that capital appreciation to their shareholders. So here's how I'm going to close this episode. My mission is simple: to help the average person build above average wealth. And wealth isn't built just by sitting on the sidelines. It's built by taking action. Don't just watch the market, participate in it. We're going to grab the bull by the horns. We're going to the lion with the bears, and we're going to take financial ownership of our future. So let's keep learning. Let's keep investing. Let's keep building. Simple steps lead to significant results. And as Dr. Dre says, until the next episode, see you soon.